So once again, another week has passed and another episode of Boruto has come out, and once again, I kind of don't really know what else to really say about the episode other than it was average. This episode this week was actually better than average, I would only say, because of the fact that the action that was in the episode with Shinki and Boruto fighting Uroshiki, uh, the animation was definitely better than normal. I can definitely tell you that it looked better than normal, and that was pretty much the only really standout-ish thing about the episode, other than we get to see a couple of characters that we don't get to see very often, and we get to see characters that we've seen sort of recently, but other than that, nothing else really happened other than just the fight with Shinki and Boruto versus Uroshiki, and that was pretty much it. There was nothing really standout ish about the episode. There was really nothing to really point out in the review. It once again, it's just kind of like an average episode. Nothing else really happened, and it wasn't that enjoyable. It was an episode, and that was pretty much it. And I've already said this before, but I really hate saying that. I really hate coming to the reviews on a weekly basis just to continue to keep on saying that. Excuse me. um, but then I noticed something that about myself and my standard for animation for this show. As I was watching it, so I noticed that the animation was definitely better. But then I noticed myself in my head. I was thinking to myself, this animation is definitely better than it needs to be. And then I thought to myself afterwards, after I said that in my head, I was like, what do I mean by that? What do I mean by the animation's better than it needs to be? And then I realized it's because I have really low standards for animation with this show. With this show in particular, I know what type of animation I'm going to be getting from My Hero Academia when that comes back next month, right? I know what type of animation to expect when I'm watching Demon Slayer. I know what types of animation to expect when I'm watching all these other animes that I plan on watching in the near future. Like, I already know what to expect. But with Boruto, I never expect for an episode to come out with new animation. So whenever it does have good animation, it surprises me. Whenever it has better animation than normal, I'm like, oh, it's better than it needs to be. But why do I think that it's better than it needs to be? Shouldn't it always be better? Shouldn't it strive to always be better? And I just think that's where my standards are with the animation with this show right now, and it's really disappointing because not that long ago when we were watching the whole stuff with Jugo, there was an episode where Konohamaru and Jugo were fighting against each other, and the animation was really good in that part. And then, of course, much later on beforehand, we had episode 65, which continues to still have the best animation of the show, of Boruto at least. I'm not saying Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, but just Boruto on its own. And I've already said this before, but now we're like 60 episodes plus since episode 65, and this is the standard that we have with the show now, and it's still frustrating. And it's frustrating on my part as a fan that just wants to see Boruto be a good show with good animation, good writing, good characters, good fighting, good fight scenes, etc. But it's not that I don't realize that animation is, it's not that I don't know that animation's a very difficult thing. I know that animation's a difficult thing. I know that animation takes time, and especially, the time gap that the animators have to use in order to be able to animate an episode on a weekly basis. I know that animation, especially in Japan, is very difficult, especially, as of late over the years, has just progressed on by. Animation and the Japanese side of things has just been very difficult, especially after the whole arsonist attack with Kyoto Animation, that studio, and people are probably fearing for their lives as they're trying to animate these episodes and trying to make them as good as possible. So people are probably very fearful for their lives, wanting to expect the worst, but still also having to try to get a job done. It's not that I don't understand that. It's just I do understand that, but I just also want to see them try their very best, try their hardest to try to get the show to be as best as it possibly can, because I do see great potential. I see greatness from this show. I know that this show can be great, but it just hasn't really hit that mark since episode 65. That's the peak. That's the peak of where the show has been at. and the show needs to work its way back up to get to that point once more. And it's come very close at many different points of the show as it's progressed on further. But it's very frustrating when it starts to dwindle down even more than it already has been doing. And that's pretty much just my whole view about the episode. That's what it's just been giving. That's what the show has given me in retrospect as I've watched the episode. Like I said, the episode was better than normal. You know, it's better than average episode because the writing was a little bit better. The fighting was at least enjoyable in some aspects. There were parts where the animation was definitely better than normal. But that was pretty much it. Nothing else really happened. And now we're going to have to go back into kind of like a slew of a couple of filler episodes that will probably still service to the plot somehow. I don't know. We're just going to have to wait until next week. I'm going to try to get my other videos out as soon as possible. And I'm going to watch Demon Slayer and enjoy that. And, you know, wait until the next Saturday when we can get another episode. And then we'll talk about that as well. So anyways, that's the end of the video. If you did enjoy it for whatever reason, be sure to leave a like. If you aren't, subscribe for more videos just like this. I'll see you guys next one. Have a fantastic day. I'm out. Peace.